Back to the channel, everyone. Today we are talking about something that can make and break your businesses, like what to do after your cold mail get responses. That's the most important thing. Like when the people get interested on your services or they want more information about your services, and what to do after that. So the perfect sales call, what to do after your cold mail get a response. So let's dive in. Okay, so you have sent the perfect cold mail, the prospect has replied, now you have agreed to on a call. Okay, so this is where the real work begins, right? So this is where the real work begins and where the most people drop the balls. So did you know that 48% call sales calls never result in a follow up? The only 7% of the prospect feel that sales people understand their businesses and needs after the first call. But here's the good news. Good news. I am about to show you my exact framework to turning these initial calls into a paid client. This is the same approach that helped me to maintain my 67% call to client conversation rate over the past few years. Okay, so you have been getting responses that is struggling to convert them into actual businesses. The video is going to change everything for you, so let's dive in. Just uh, section 1, before the call, what you need to do before the call, right? So the perfect sales calls actually begin long before you dial in. The preparation, what separates the amateur from your pros. Here is the pre-call checklist I maintain, so you can also maintain that. First, research about the prospect again, but this time go deeper, go deeper. So know everything about themselves, their businesses. Check their recent social media activity, a company announcement, recent news on their leading up on the calls. And the second, prepare your call structure. This isn't just having a question ready and mapping out the conversation flow. It's not like that. Properly structure your call. Third, set up an environmental success. That means checking your tech element distraction and creating the right impression. Okay, so as you know that, so in my sales call I am basically doing like pretty much a 10, 15 to 12 call every day. So before every call I join the call before the prospect. Okay, maybe 3 4 5 minutes earlier than that. So it's professionalism. Okay, so you can maintain that. So let me break down this all. So for research, I create a call prospect a dossier that is a one page document, everything you need to know. Structure will be like prospect dossier, that means your the prospect company and k contact, like the CEO owner who replied, and their background, previous company's education, the recent activities, their common connections, their company snapshot, like recent news about their funding, their launches, their expansion, and competitor, about the, who they competed with, and the pain point they are facing on their businesses to grow, and conversion starter, specific pain point from LinkedIn content, maybe website content, refers to the research company announcement, so whatever the information you can find, their industry trend, and value alignment. That is how your services addresses their pain pointed and solve their pain pointed. And as well as the case studies, the similar client you have helped, so you can also mention that on the call. Okay, so creating this takes me about 15 minutes but makes me sound like I have been studying their business for weeks. Okay, so next, let's talk about call structure. Here is my framework: connection into 3 minutes, confirmation in 1 2 minutes, exploration in 10 to 15 minutes, solution and positioning 5 to 7 minutes, next step 3 to 5 minutes. That's total 30-minute call. Okay, so you can break down this step by this. Okay, we'll go through each step and phrases in details shortly. Finally, set up your environment. Okay, for the video calls, ensure you have like good lighting room in front and not behind you, and a clean professional background, camera at the eye level, like what I am maintaining right now, and stable internet connection. I always have a phone, a hotspot as a backup. Okay, so for phone calls, I use headphones for better audio quality and have a notepad ready for jot down the key point. Okay, so as well as you can see I am using a mic. Okay, a microphone. So I I pretty much only buying it for the client call, and after that I'm making the video also it. So but the first reason to buy this mic, because of the client call, they can listen me properly. Okay, so one pro tip, that is, you have your prospect dossier and call structure printed on a second screen, so you are not shuffling through in the windows in the during the call. So if you have multiple screens, that will be a pro. Okay, section 2 is opening the call. The first 90 seconds of your call will set the tone for everything that follows. Let's break down the perfect opening. So remember that first 90 seconds. So there is a call, there is a proverb also, that is the first impression is the last impression. So how you position you and how you are presenting you in the meeting, so that's really matters. So remember that that really matters. Okay, so opening need to be accomplished three things: build a genuine connection, confirm the frame, and set a clear agenda. Okay, so here is it can be think, yeah, you can think it's hard, but let's uh, break it down how it sounds. Okay, so it sounds like, "Hi, Sarah. Great to finally connect with you." And warm but in professional tone, you need to say, "Before we dive in, I just noticed you just published the article about supply chain optimization on LinkedIn. The pain about predictive analytics was spot on. We have been seeing similar trend with our client in manufacturing." Okay, so you can see you are targeting a country, niche and everything you are saying. So it's the opening line. Okay, so you can make a pause, and after that, "I want to be respectful of your time. We have got 30 minutes scheduled today, and does this still work for you?" Again, a pause for their answer. Perfect. Here is what I suggest for our conversation. First, we would love to learn more about your current situation and the challenges. Then I can share some relevant insight based on what we have done with similar companies. Finally, we can discuss the potential next step if it makes sense to continue the conversation. Does How does this sound? So they will definitely yes, go ahead. Okay, notice what happened here. I started a specific reference to something they have done recently, confirmed our time frame, and proposed a clear structure of their first. And this approach accomplished several things. It shows you have done your homework. Yeah, it shows you have done your homework. It respect their time, and it gives them control by asking you their agreement of the agenda. Three, and the fourth is it position the call as a conversation, not a pitch. Okay, construct with the typical opening: "Thanks for taking my call. I wanted to tell you about our services, how we can help you with that." This is like super boring, and people are not get interested on it. Okay, that immediately put your prospect on the defensive and signal that going to doing all the takings. And section 3 is the exploration phase. That is, now we are entirely almost a critical part of all the exploration phase. Okay, so this is where you uncover the information you need to position your solution effectively. Your goal in the phase is to uncover three key elements. That's all. Only three key elements. That is pain point. What problem they are facing, impact. What is the cost of the problems, and decision criteria. What would a successful solution look like? Okay, so here is how you should structure your question and meaningful information. Like, start with a broad and ended question. That is, what is your biggest challenges with the relevant area? Like, what is the biggest challenges with your lead gen, or how is industry trend and affecting your businesses? Then you can go deeper and follow up your question: how long and this has been issues, and what you have tried to solve this problem so far, and what happens if this doesn't get solved in the next few months. Okay, so it's fear of missing out. That means what happens if that is not get solved in the next few months. Okay, so it's a problem, they get feared, so they could get interested. Okay, so here is a real example from a call I had with a SaaS company. Okay, so me, what had been your biggest challenges with your customer acquisition this year? Prospect: "We are getting plenty of trials, but no conversion rate is low." Me: "Interesting. What do you think is causing to drop off?" Prospect: "We are not really sure. We tried sending more mail during the trial, but it hasn't helped me much. What would it mean that businesses, if you could improve the conversion rate by even 10%, prospect that would be at about 30 k monthly recurring revenue, it would be completely change our growth in the trajectory. The last question about the impact is crucial, and it quantifies the value solving their problem and help them justify their investment by in your solution. Okay, during this phase, active listening is essential. Like, here is what it look like: take notes on the key points and phrases you have heard, and ask clarifying question, and listen for emotional cues, not fact. Remember, your goal is to understand, not to immediately solve. The longer you stay in the phase, and the more powerful of your solution will be positioning. Section 4 is solution positioning. That is, now the k effective solution is positioned to make completely relevant to what they just told you. And here is the three part of framework, that is: connect, link their specific challenges to your solution; construct, that will highlight you what you makes your approach different; and confirm, that is, check that your solution address the similar criteria, their criteria. Okay, here is this look like, that is based on what you have shared about your trial conversation challenge. There are three specific ways we can help you. First, we could implement our engagement scoring system that identifies which user are at risk not converting. Second, we could create automated but personalized touch point based on their behavior. And third, we could optimize their onboarding flow to ensure user experience and value faster. What makes our approach different is in the unlike typical mail sequence, we will focus on behavior based trigger that cause user at exact moment they need guidance. Does that approach align with what you are looking for in a solution? Notice that I didn't launch into a generic piece and about our services feature benefit. Instead of, I create a custom solution narrative based on their problem they're telling. It also powerful to specific a result for a similar client. Like, we recently worked with another SaaS companies in your space that was facing the similar conversion challenges. That trial period to paid conversion rate increased to 12 to 23% in next within 60 days. Implementing this challenges resulting in an additional 45k monthly recurring revenue. Even better to share a brief testimonial. Like, their head of growth mentioned that the behavior based approach completely changed their how they think about the user conversation. It was like a turning on a light in the dark room. Okay, handling objection, this is the main important things. Okay, no matter how well you position your solution, you will face objections. Okay, so here is my four step process to handling the objection. That is: validate, acknowledge their concern; explore, understand the root of the objections; response, address it directly; and the fourth is confirm, that is, check your responses of the conversation. Okay, so let me show you how this works in the most common objection: price. That is, this sound good, but I'm not concerned about the cost. I understand that budget is an important consideration. I understand that a budget is an important consideration. You can help me to understand what aspect of the investment concerned you most. Is it the initial cost and the ROI timeline, or something else? Okay, prospect. We have invested in marketing solution before and haven't seen the results justify the cost. Okay, that's a valid concern. What makes our approach different is we have tie our compensation directly to your result. We establish a clear KPI that in the beginning, and if we don't hit them, you don't pay the full amount. We will also provide you weekly progress reports that you can see the impact in the real time before the larger result materialize. And how does that approach address your concern about the investment risks? Okay, so it's pretty much good. And here is some other common objection you can handle. We need to think about it, that this is usually means they're not convinced yet, and we need to talk to the others first. That is a good sign. And we already worked with someone else who can likely that this is a gap, so it will not work. Okay, section 6 is closing and next step. That is, a summary what you have discussed, a clear specific actions, and a time frame that actions and confirmation commitment. Okay, so before like finish your calls, you need to summarize what we have you have discussed with your client. This kind of a conversation you can just copy and paste it, and like based on our conversation, I recommend you to move forward with the detailed assessment of your current onboarding process. I can have that complete by next Friday. To do that, I will need access your current email sequences, user behavior data. That's just work. Okay, great. Send it over this kind of things and restart again the solving value. So, or let me know if you want to move forward this kind of things. That and the after closing your calls in the next 15 minutes, you will give them a follow-up like thanks for your time, summarize the key discussion point, and restate and the agreed upon the next step in the timeline, include a promised material about the information. Okay, and the call to action, that is they there you have it, like the perfect sales call framework. You already completed that, but the call to action, like throughout your preparation with your prospect dossier, a state opening that builds connections, effective exploration to understand their needs, tailored solution positioning based on their challenges, confident objection handling, and strong closing with the next clear step. When I implement this framework in my businesses, my call to client conversion jump to 3 to 67%, and my average deal size increased 34%. But remember that it isn't about being slick or manipulative, it's being a instructive conversation that helps you truly understand your prospect need and clearly communicate how you can help them. Okay, so if you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more strategies on landing more high value client, and share this video with your friends and families, whatever you want, and drop a comment to let me know about your biggest challenges with sales call, and is any specific problem you are facing, and what kind of video you want in the in next or upcoming videos. Let me know, I will make videos about your concern. And if you want any kind of cold mail solution, you can book a call with us. Our team can help you out, and see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.